Have you ever been in a game of Apex and thought, why can't I hit anything? Why do people kill me so fast? Am I a literal dumpster that's on fire? Well, I'm here to tell you, you can hit things accurately. You can survive in Apex, and no, you are not burning trash. Apex Legends may be one of my absolute favorite games at the moment, but unfortunately, while it is a game that tests your shooting abilities, it doesn't teach you those shooting abilities. Apex is a game that teaches you how to survive, not to aim. But luckily, with a couple little drills, you can go from shooting like this to this. Shooting games, more than any other esport, use the part of your brain that real-world sports use. The ability to aim accurately uses muscle memory instead of critical thinking skills, so this is a skill that benefits from, well, not thinking about shooting at all. Luckily, muscle memory is something that can be easily formed through practice, and the best way to practice is by going to Apex's own training mode. Alright, enough with the intro, let's get right into it. So, one of the first things I'm going to have you do, take your R301, grab an RE45, and then take your R301, stand right in this general area, and then I'm going to have you switch this over to a single fire mode. And what you're going to do is you see these 6 target dummies here. Well, we're going to have you practice your flick shots. What a flick shot is being able to move your mouse very quickly. That way you're right on the head of a target. Flick it over, right on the head of a target. And this is important because in Apex Legends, it's a very fast game, so you want to be able to flick it right onto wherever you see very, very quickly. That way you can get those really, really important headshots, or even just keeping it safe and getting a really quick body shot. So, what you're going to do is start off slowly, and we're going to have you just flick it over and hit the dummies right on the head. Flick it over, hit them right on the head. And as you start to get more confident, just start increasing your speed. Now, I will say, as you do this, if you notice that you're overshooting at all, that's a good indicator that maybe you have too high of a sensitivity for your mouse. If you can't just flick over and get these consistently, try lowering your sensitivity. I know some people really are like, oh, I gotta have a high sensitivity. I see people be able to move their mouse really fast. Well, that's not necessarily the case. Having the proper DPI setting and mouse sensitivity is very, very important for this game. Whatever is the best for you. You aren't Ninja, you aren't Shroud. You have the potential to be as good as them, but even if you do become as good as them, you're gonna have a different sensitivity and preference. It's not a universal thing. It is very, very individual based. Personally, I run at a 2.6 in-game sensitivity with 400 DPI, and it's still, I can whip around really quick, or I can still have that really intricate little movement. So whatever is best for you. But as I was saying, what you really want to do, just flick over, trying to hit these headshots. And now I'm going even a little bit too fast for my own personal liking, but I just want to kind of demonstrate that, you know, I did start off with just, I did start off by just going this slow, and now I can just kind of whip it really quickly. Really, really quickly on target. And it's a skill that translates in-game so well. Now, everybody does have a preferred side that they flick to. I personally, as you can see, hit much better on the right than I do the left. These are still drills that I'm practicing myself. But the more you practice, the more it gets locked into that muscle memory. And the more it's locked into that muscle memory, the less you think about it in a game. The less you think about it in a game, the more games you're gonna win, because you're able to think on more important stuff like, how do I survive? Where should we go? When to attack? The less you think about how to aim, the more likely you are to win, if that makes any sense. So, second drill that we're gonna run. I'm gonna have you go past these dummies, go right into this area. You're gonna switch over to your RE45, and we're gonna look down the scope and see that little red dot. We're gonna try to track and keep that dot on as close to center as humanly possible. Now this is a drill I literally just started today, but I've already noticed huge improvements in my tracking ability. I've been pretty good at tracking while standing still, but I haven't been the best at tracking while moving. And you see a lot of these pros doing this little foot dance where they go really quickly and still manage to line up right on the target's head. And it baffled me. I didn't understand how they could do it. I tried just going and shooting these targets as they move, but it's not a real accurate estimate of how to do it in the game. The best way that I've found, just keep that red dot right on the center as close as you can and just kind of move around. And the way that you can make this harder is by just increasing the speed in which you move back and forth. And the faster you move back and forth, the harder and harder it becomes to keep right as close to center as possible. See, I'm a little sloppy boy with this one, but to be fair, I did just start doing this myself. That being said, since I've started doing this, I've already started noticing a ton of improvement in the game, and I'm excited to see how much farther that improvement's gonna take me. So, third thing we're gonna do, take your RE45, switch it back into full auto mode. Now, we're gonna move around. Just try to keep it as close to center as possible. And this drill does two things for you. One, helps you stay on target for that little stance thing that you do. And two, helps you learn the recoil of a weapon. Now I'm doing this with the R301, but you could do this with any weapon really, and it'll teach you the spray patterns of how this weapon goes, and it'll help you keep those locked down on target. Now the R301 is a weapon that I know very well. If I switch over to the RE45 and I try it, see, much sloppier spray pattern. But with this R301, I stay pretty dead center. The RE45 is a weapon that I'm trying to learn right now because it is a very common weapon to find in the early game and can do a lot of damage if you're accurate with it. So, never discount any of the weapons, including the Mozambique. Oh! So, now we're gonna gear up for our last drill. What I like to do is get to a random point on the field. It can be anywhere. This is an area that I really like going to, but you really want to try to switch it up as much as you can. You really want to try to get into different levels, different heights, down low, up high. And what you're going to do is you're going to aim at these targets. What you're going to do is you're going to aim at these targets and you're just going to go from one to another, trying to be as accurate as possible. This is one of the core things that makes a good shooting player a great shooting player, is being able to just see a target and slide and snap right over to it. Now, take it slow at first. Really, just try to be as precise as possible. After you do the flicking exercise, you're gonna think, oh, this is no big deal. Now I can snap shoot wherever. This is a whole other ball game. This is adding heights and distance and differences. This is an exercise that really does challenge all parts of your shooting abilities. So take your time with it. Go slow. It is not easy, but the more you do this, the better your aim will get in game. Believe me. If you've liked this video, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button below. We truly and honestly appreciate it. And if you want to check out the Spice Boys in action, come check out our stream in the description below. Anyways, I'm New Kid. I'm here to tell you, keep it spicy.